Hey, welcome back, Prime Timers. It's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. I want to welcome in all of the brand new subscribers. As you can see here, we recently went over 3,000 subscribers on the channel. So I want to thank all of you, not only the new people who've come on board that just helped me achieve that milestone, but also all of you who've stuck with me for so long. People like Laura Cohn and Kathy Bull and Bunny Wilk. Just so many of you, it's just impossible to name right now. Noel Griffiths, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And even newer people like Ara's Point of View and Esme Starn. She's not newer, she's been here for a long time. But just so many of you, Jersey Pickens, I just want to thank all of you. There's too many I can name. Please don't get offended if I did not say your name, but I know every single one of you respond to almost every comment, and I'm going to continue to do that as long as I possibly can. So just a quick thank you in the beginning of the video rather than the end this time, since we just went over 3,000. So for those of you who are brand new, this is something I like to do every month, which is go over the top 10 most expensive and most profitable items that's sold in my eBay store. It's an exciting way for me to look back over the prior months of sales. It keeps me motivated going into the next month. And also, I do love to share information with you. So pass on some tips and tricks and bolos or be on the lookout items. So I hope that is helpful to you. And we are going to start at number 10 and work our way back to number 1. So let's start at this one over here. This is Marvel Age. Now, you may remember that I found this Marvel Age, number 41 to be specific, recently when I did the 1,000 comic book haul video. Now, I should just pause a moment before I go into this specific issue, which you could see here, it says $49.99. That's what I had it listed at. I took a best offer of $45. Well, actually, the offer was for $40, but we negotiated, met in the middle at $45 for this piece. So this was a good one. One thing I want to just mention to those of you who are waiting, if you remember, for this 1,000 book comic haul, I did part 1 and 2 of the haul. I need to do part 3, but then I purchased that big storage unit, and I am going through that as well. So I do remember I have to do part 3 of this. That is coming. And I also have to go through the rest of the storage unit. I could not get to the other stuff in that storage unit today, and I have to do this video anyway. It's something I do at the beginning of the month, so that's why, for those of you who are wondering where those unboxing videos are, they are coming. I'm going to try to get to them this week. But anyway, back to this one. A couple things I want to tell you about it. Marvel Age is one of those comic books that is in some ways deceptive. Because what you'll see here, and I'm going to click on it to make it bigger, is you're going to see the price as 50 cents. And some of the earlier issues are priced at 25 cents. And what happens is people who are brand new into comics will come across it and they'll see the low price of 50 cents or 25 cents. And they'll think that they found a really old, valuable comic book. And in truth, what they really found is Marvel's promotional comic book, where in it, they would do stories and little interviews and promos of books that they had coming out. And Marvel was just charging a small amount, 25, 50 cents, just to cover production costs. So it's not really that it's a super old book from when books really were 25, 50 cents. It's just a low price because it's promotional. That's the reason. So now, most Marvel Ages are not worth a lot of money. If you want to sell them, you've got to lot them together. But if you remember from this collection, when I was going through and saw the Marvel Ages, I was hoping we would find number 41, because number 41 has Stan Lee on the cover. Stan Lee is a legendary icon in Marvel, responsible for creating so many famous comic book characters like the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, and I mean, he was there for decades and decades, and there would be no Marvel comic books if there was no Stan Lee. I mean, he's just would never have, I don't believe, continued. He was just so important for that. And he recently passed away, and because of that, this Marvel Age 41 is worth much more money than many of the other ones. So this one priced at $49.99. It was an easy sale, and I got this for 12.5 cents if you factor in how much I got each book in that collection. So go check out that haul video if you want to. If you didn't see it, you want to see me hunting for the Stan Lee book, and my happy shock and surprise when my wife, Mrs. Primetime, pulled it out of the box, and I was just super excited to find it. So, because I knew it would be a quick sale, sold in less than 24 hours. All right, speaking of comic books, and for those of you who don't know, I specialize in comic books, but I sell a lot of other stuff besides it. But this is what we call a comic book magazine. Now, it's called Blazing Combat. It was made by Warren. Now, you can't see it that well, but Warren is written really in small print here in the top. Any comic book magazines pretty much that were published by Warren are ones I would tell you to be on the lookout for and pick up. It's very, very, very difficult to find Blazing Combat #1, but I did pick up this 2, 3, and 4 together as just part of a big lot. Cost of goods on it was very low, a couple bucks each. Wound up selling it here for, I negotiated, and we wound up doing $59.99 on this. So this was my asking price, but I try to tell you if I took a best offer or negotiated what that price was. So $59.99 on Blazing Combat. If you look inside, as you can tell, it's a military magazine. It's World War II type of stuff. There's all sorts of different things in there, but it's exciting book. Lots of battle action stuff, and people love these war comic books. Are popular. There is a certain audience for them, and good to pick that up if you can find it. All right. This one over here now, it is a little PG-13. It's Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose. It's not quite rated R in terms of the cover, because the author, Jim Ballon, is very creative in how he does this, in that he covers up certain body areas. And now I block these parts out, so these parts are rated R. But this cover, which is the cover that would be displayed in the store, the cover itself is not, is not R, because they cover up, again, certain body areas with these lights. And he's creative in terms of other ways that he does this. There are some collector editions of Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, which again is the title of this comic book, that has these lithographic prints on the back of them, and they are limited edition. And you could see often it's we'll go over here. I don't know if you could see it. No, you can't probably. On the bottom it says 224 of 500. So they're limited edition ones, and when you combine those lithographic prints with the comic books, it drives up the selling price per book. So, you take what normally would maybe be a $10 comic book, and you jump it up to a $20 comic book. And what happened with this is that I had a buyer from Australia who wanted all three of them. Well, problem is that for the global shipping program, they are not going to be able to combine the shipping through that program. So what I did was I created my own listing, a separate listing. I coordinated this with the buyer, and I sent him the link, and then he was able to purchase all three at once with one single listing. I did a separate video on this, so this might ring familiar to some of you. And then I just quickly ended the individual listing. So originally I had issue 56, 57, and 58 listed for about 20 bucks a piece, and he just wanted to buy all three of them for $60, and so that's what we did. So that's why this wound up being a lot of three for $60. Folks, I didn't go out hunting this type of book. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I understand some people, I said this yesterday in one of my in my video, my unboxing video, is that sometimes when you buy lots of things, a big lot, and this came out of a big lot at a private estate pick for comic books, you're going to find, especially if you're buying stuff from guys, a lot of them are going to have these kind of adult-themed books in them. And they sell. They bring in big money. For the most part. I mean, there's exceptions, but Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, I could tell you, and as you will see here, that is a very, very popular title, especially when you could pair it with the art litho prints. All right, let's move off that racier type of subject matter. Now, I will forewarn you, we will come up to a little bit more of it a little bit later on. So, but nothing, completely inappropriate or R-rated, but again, something along those lines. Anyway, this one right here, really cool. I love this piece. I sourced it for $15. It's a liquor cabinet. It's shaped like an old telephone box, and it was made in Japan. And it plays music. There's a little switch on the bottom that you turn around. I'll show it to you here. Let me show you what it looks like inside. You can see here's the Scotch bottle, and there are these little cups inside, so it stores it. It has a spot on the back where it will be mounted. It says 1901 on it. Now, it doesn't literally come from 1901, but that does give it a nice vintage look to it. If you picked up these little bells, you would see underneath that's where some of the music comes out of. Again, it's shaped like an old telephone. It's got lots of intricate pieces to it. This thing right here spins around and turns, so you could move it. You could play around with it a little bit. Let's see here. What else do I want to show you? On the bottom, it's got a little winding mechanism there, as you can see, and you wind it, and it plays music as soon as you open up that latch to the door. Music starts playing. See, there's all the little glasses that come with it. And I picked it up, if you remember, at that estate sale where I found it in the basement at a bar. I showed up late and found it there, just hanging up there, and I unscrewed it from the wall. This is why I say, and here's the back of it. It was screwed into the wall, just a few screws. It was pretty easy to take off. Bring a screwdriver to estate sales, folks. So, this really had a lot of things going for it. It's got a liquor theme. It's got Scotch, which is obviously liquor, but Scotch is a popular type of liquor. It's got the year 1901. It's got the telephone-shaped look. It's made in another country, Japan. It's, it's just got so many, it's got music that plays. It's interactive. Whenever you have all those different things that you could lot together in a theme, that's perfect because it allows you to hit multiple audiences, and that's absolutely crucial when you're trying to sell. You want to bring as many people as possible into your listing. So this one wound up selling for $72.50. So overall, a nice profit on this piece, and it was pretty easy to ship. You just needed a big enough box for it. That's all. This one here, many people love the Castle Grayskull that's behind me. I actually have three, or did have three, now I have two Castle Grayskulls, and this one I put on the market. It's sold for the price that you see there, $74.99. I'm thinking, did it go for? No, I was thinking maybe it went for $72.50, but it was $74.99. Yeah, it sold for that price. Now, a Castle Grayskull is an intricate piece, and there's lots of different aspects to it. There's someone I've been talking to recently who on Instagram who purchased a Castle Grayskull, and this jaw piece here, this attaches. So make sure if it's detached, you attach it, because if you take pictures with it not attached, it could affect the sale price. People want to know that that's there and that it attaches. Now you could see the inside. Normally it should have this elevator shaft. Let me make this bigger. It should have an elevator shaft that goes up and down. It should have a trap door here that when you turn this chair, there's a swivel mechanism here, and it actually attaches to the door, and it will unlock the door. It'll like knock the door down. So if a figure's standing on there, you turn the chair. No, so what's supposed to happen is Skeletor is supposed to stand here, and He-Man's supposed to sit in the chair, spin around, and Skeletor falls down to the ground. It's got the ladder. It's got a weapons rack. There's supposed to be weapons on it, and there are these little pieces that pull out of the top. They're like these little ledges. There's supposed to be a gun, a brown gun that's attached to this little spot on top, this weapons holder in yellow. So there's supposed to be stickers here too. You see there's supposed to be a sticker on the door and a sticker on the bottom. The sticker on the door here is okay, but the on the trap door, but the one on the bottom is partly missing. So let me flip through more of it to you so you could see. So you can see here the front door, the trap door, not trap door, but the front door is supposed to go up and down. There it is, up, and there it is, down. Now, the side of it has clips. You want to make sure that it closes correctly with those clips. And so this one does close correctly. This one does have some staining on it. It's kind of hard to see, but in a regular eBay mode, you would see that there's like some brown staining to it because of storage issues. So being not complete, it does take the value down somewhat, and the ladder had a little tear in it. So there are a bunch of things that kind of knocked value down. But despite that, it still sold for $75 and sourced it for just a few bucks as part of a collectibles deal. So not bad on the Castle Grayskull. And as a little bonus here for watching this, I've shown this in many of my other videos, but that's the counterpart. That's Snake Mountain, and that's where Skeletor lives. So if you ever see that around. This one here, you might remember this at my winter estate sale that I went to. Wound up negotiating a price of $82.50 for this. The original price on it was listed as $18, but I actually wound up getting it for lower than that through the deal with the estate sale dealer. Overall, once you factor everything in, she might have put $18 on the actual sticker, but there were other things as part of that deal that I made at the estate sale that the price wound up getting lowered. So, you know, overall, the whole total price that I envisioned for everything that went up there wound up being lower than, than the sticker price. So, this is a nice piece. I really just had to dust it off a little bit and vacuum out some little, crumbs and lint on the inside of it. But Anheuser-Busch, vintage, wood, metal, guaranteed seller. Someone asked me once when I showed that I found this, how am I going to ship it? Very easy. Just bubble wrap it and stick it in a box that's big enough and you are set. These things are sturdy. It's going to take a lot to break something like this. So just make sure you just do your normal shipping procedures in terms of just put a nice thick bubble wrap around it, and you should be all set. You really should not have any problems. If you want to take extra precautions, especially if you're dropping it off at FedEx, ask them to put fragile stickers on it. By the way, I should mention, just again as a side tip here, that if you want USPS to put a fragile sticker on, it's going to cost you $10, and they're going to take it and put it in a special crate in their facility and in the mail truck, and they really are going to treat it as a fragile piece with that process. So they're actually going to separate it. In terms of FedEx, if you take it, you ask for FedEx stickers, it's free. They'll put a bunch of fragile, I don't know if I said FedEx sticker, but I should have said fragile sticker. They'll put fragile stickers on it at FedEx, and they won't put it in a separate compartment, but the people who work there, who handle the packages, supposedly do notice that and do take extra precautions with the piece in terms of where they stack it, where they store it, and how they move it around. So I haven't any problems with any FedEx packages I've sent out got damaged that had the fragile sticker on it. So either I'm a really good packer with stuff, and I do think I am good at packing, but these things do take a beating going across the country sometimes, which is where I pretty much use FedEx for things going across the country at a discounted rate. But things really haven't been showing up broken, so I think they are doing a good job handling the packages. This one here, you might remember, it's a state sale sourcing piece. Just wound up getting it for a few bucks and wound up selling it for $89.99. So I believe I was offered $79.99 and just took a best offer negotiation. We got to meet in the middle, $89.99, and it sold. Wasn't too heavy, but the problem here is just bulk. So fortunately, I think it wound up going to Ohio, and so the shipping actually wound up being pretty cheap on it overall. I think it was actually like less than $10 or close to $10 on it. It really wasn't bad because it wasn't heavy. It was just the bulk on it. Okay, now we're going to get to Tarot, which is the Black Rose again. Same situation. Now this I had to cover up a few things. If you're not gonna list it in the mature section or the adult section of eBay, for those of you who know, there is an adult section of eBay, and you just go to everything else and adult only, it says, and that's where you could list this if you want to show the full nudity. I choose not to do that, and so I list it on the regular side of eBay. And so you just have to make sure you cover up any private areas. You cannot show nipples, which is the main thing you want to make sure you cover up, as well as any genitalia. All that stuff has to be covered if you are going to list it on the main site, or eBay's going to take it down and tell you to put it in the adult only section. So just make sure you pay attention to that stuff so you don't get your listings removed. And there's a lot of Tarot Witch of the Black Rose on here. This person from Australia wanted to buy these 5 issues, 66, 53, 53. There are 2 different versions of issue 53, so there's a variant. 52 and 51 for $105. And it's great to combine it together. I took a little bit off for each comic book, but overall winds up saving you a lot of time and shipping when you can combine the books like that. So that was good. Happy to sell that one. So that put us in the $100 range. This one here, model airplane kit. This is the Berkeley plane kits. I've shown them before in my what's sold on eBay videos. This is a rare piece. They're all rare. All the Berkeleys are rare, but this one's a bit more so. And so when you find them complete, just as a little tip here, make sure that you take pictures of the sides of the boxes, but also to show the completeness, because after all, it's one of the things you're selling is it's complete. So make sure you take a picture. There's an overhead view that shows all the contents, and if you have the instructions, make sure you take a picture of that as well. The person who wound up getting this, we were going back and forth with negotiations, and we wound up settling on $110. So very happy. I only sourced this for $3. So $110 on $3. Take it every single day. And that leads us to the last one. So I'm not going to focus a lot on the covers because it's a little racier than some of the other ones. But again, it's Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. It's a combination. Oh, sorry. I knocked off my Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. Now, I had it here before, so that's a little blooper. I'm going to have to bring it back. So hold on. The number 1, this never happened before, but the number 1 was Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. So I'm going to have to get to that in just a moment. But this was actually number 2. Number 2 here is the Modern Machine Shop Practice Books. If you remember, I wound up getting this from the overhead compartment at that estate sale. It's called the House of Horrors. So if you want to see me pick this, just search on my YouTube channel for the House of Horrors estate sale video. And man, that house was disgusting. I mean, there was like poop all over the place and dirt and filth and grime. I mean, it was just so nasty, but these were relatively protected from the other stuff in the house, being right above the closet when you walk in the house. So I grabbed this and a bunch of other ones and wound up selling them both for $110. They come from the early 1900s. And what you should look for, even though these books are dirty, what you should look for is that there's a lot of cool vintage diagrams inside. And these are the types of things that help sell the book. Vintage diagrams, vintage drawings, vintage pictures associated with tools and number charts like that. I mean, there's people out there that just go nuts over this stuff and love it. And so that's why you could, command these nice prices for it, because there is a strong market out there for it. And, pretty much is going to be something that sells every time you put it up. Just make sure your price is reasonable. Check comps. And at the time I put this up, $139 seemed fair, but I was happy to take the 110 on this one. So, oh no, sorry, it wasn't 110. I sold it for $119.99. So $120 this wound up going for. All right, so let's go and find the other one, our top one, our number 1. It should be here in my history section here somewhere. So let's go to history and we'll scroll down and let's see where it is. It's got to be here somewhere. Where are you? Okay, so gonna have to go show all history. Man, I'm really drawing the suspense out on this one for you. Plus, you get to see all the things that I searched for. So we're gonna scroll down. Gonna scroll down. Where is it? Okay, coming up. Here we go, right here. All right, that was drama. Big time drama for you. Here we go. Hope it was worth it. This is the actual sale price, $145. I'm not gonna make the pictures bigger because, again, it's just a little racier than some of the other ones that I have up there. But you could see here that, again, the Tarot Witch is a combination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 issues for $145. And you'll see here what I say in here. This is a private sale only for this person. It will include the following items that were previously individually listed. And there we go. I say all images from those listings and the details contained within apply to the present sale, just so the person knows I'm not going to try to, play any games with them. And also, just make sure, just in case someone sees it before I get a chance to send this guy the link, if anyone else buys it, I am going to cancel the order. So I make sure I specify that in there. And so this process has worked well for people who are overseas. So, okay. That is the wrap. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Every month it's always something different. This month a lot of tarot, which is the Black Rose, was selling. Lots of comic books. I mean, that's my main thing. So I'm glad that wound up showing up a bunch in the video, because I know there's a lot of people watching this who are trying to learn more about comic books. So hopefully those tips helped. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you come to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link is down below. There's actually lots of opportunity to make money in my Facebook group. I do a seller-thon once a month. It's a seller supporting seller-thon. We just generated over about $250 in sales for other sellers in just one day. We have over 7,000 members of the group, and a new feature we started today for Kathy Bull was the first person we did it with. Was it's Support That Seller Sunday. So what happens is we pick a seller and highlight that one seller's store or closet and encourage everyone in the group to buy something. You don't have to, but if you can support that person with a sale, it's great. So Kathy wound up making a ton of sales. She shattered her sales record for the day, and I'm very happy to be able to help her out. She's a great person and cracks me up, makes me laugh, puts a smile on my face, as do many of you with your comments and also just your kind words of support. So thank you very much for being part of this channel. Look forward to growing it even more. Remember, this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, huge guests coming in for interview. Rally Roots, Ryan Roots, Allie Roots, together, they're Rally Roots. See you then.